Hi everyone, and welcome back to our podcast Hey English. This is episode number 7. I'm Philip.
And I'm Sarah. We're so excited to have you with us today.
Today, we have an exciting topic lined up for you, something that's a huge part of all our lives: technology and social media.
That's right, Philip. We'll be diving into how technology has evolved over the years, the pros and cons of social media, privacy and security, and even some future trends to look out for.
And because this is more than just a conversation, we'll be highlighting some important English vocabulary, grammar points, idioms, and phrases along the way.
Absolutely. Whether you're here to learn English or just interested in our topic, we've got something for everyone.
So, grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's dive into the fascinating world of technology and social media.
But before we start, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our future episodes. And if you enjoy this video, give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends.
Alright, let's get started. So Sarah, let's kick things off by talking about how technology and social media have evolved over the years. It's incredible to think about how far we've come in such a short time.
Definitely, Philip. I remember when the internet first became widely accessible. Back then, we had dial-up connections, and just loading a single web page could take ages. The vocabulary word for today is evolution, which means gradual development. Technology has truly evolved, hasn't it?
Absolutely. And let's not forget the early days of social media. Platforms like MySpace and Friendster were among the first, paving the way for the giants we have today like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Innovation, another key word, has played a huge role in this evolution.
Yes, and with each new platform, we saw new features and possibilities. Do you remember when Facebook introduced the like button? It was a game changer. This kind of innovation, meaning a new idea or method, really transformed how we interact online.
Speaking of interactions, did you know that the word platform refers to a base of technologies that are used to build other applications or services? Social media platforms have become central to our digital lives.
Exactly. And with this digital transformation, we've seen a shift in how we communicate, work, and even think. The term digital itself signifies anything related to computer technology or online environments. It's fascinating how our digital presence is now an integral part of our identity.
And let's not forget the grammar point for today, using past tense to describe changes over time. For example, we used to write letters, but now we send emails. We can see this change clearly in our everyday lives. Right, Philip? And the idiom "a picture is worth 1,000 words" became even more relevant with the rise of platforms like Instagram, where visuals are everything. It's amazing to see how much content we consume visually nowadays. That's true. So, to recap, we discussed the evolution of technology, how social media platforms have innovated over time, and how these changes have impacted our digital lives. And we introduced some key vocabulary words like evolution, innovation, platform, and digital. Yes, and we also touched on using past tense to describe these changes. We hope you found this part informative. We're just getting started, so stick around as we dive deeper into the world of technology and social media. Coming up next, we'll talk about some of the most popular social media platforms and what makes them unique. Alright, Sarah, let's dive into the world of popular social media platforms. It's amazing how each platform has its own unique features and audience.
Absolutely, Philip. Let's start with Facebook. It's one of the oldest and still one of the most widely used platforms. People use it to connect with friends and family, join groups, and even follow their favorite brands. The key vocabulary here is engagement, which refers to how people interact with content on social media.
Yes, and then we have Instagram, which is all about visuals. Whether it's photos or short videos, this platform has become a hub for influencers and brands to showcase their creativity. One interesting term here is algorithm, which is the system that decides what content gets shown to users. Instagram's algorithm is known for prioritizing engaging content.
Right, and speaking of engaging content, Twitter is another platform where things go viral quickly. Trending is a popular term here. It refers to topics that are currently popular and being discussed by many users. Twitter's real-time nature makes it perfect for staying updated with news and events.
And let's not forget TikTok, which has taken the world by storm with its short, catchy videos. The term viral perfectly describes TikTok content, as it often spreads rapidly across the internet. It's a platform where creativity knows no bounds.
That's true, Philip. The idiom going viral is so relevant here. It means becoming extremely popular in a short period of time, and TikTok is the best example of this. People from all over the world share their talents and stories, making it a truly global platform.
And for our grammar point today, we'll look at the present continuous tense, which we use to describe current trends. For example, people are increasingly using Instagram for shopping, or TikTok is becoming more popular among all age groups.
That's a great point, Philip. And another term we often hear is influencer, which refers to someone who has the power to affect the purchasing decisions of others because of their authority or relationship with their audience. Influencers are a big part of social media culture today.
Definitely, and the phrase catching up on trends is quite common too. It means staying updated with the latest popular topics or styles. Social media is the best place to do this, as trends change so quickly.
To sum up, we've talked about Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, highlighting some key features and vocabulary like engagement, algorithm, trending, and viral. We also discussed the present continuous tense to describe ongoing trends.
So, now that we've covered some of the most popular social media platforms, let's talk about the pros and cons of social media. It's a topic that's always up for debate.
Definitely, Philip. On the positive side, social media has made it so much easier to stay connected with friends and family, no matter where they are in the world. One of the key vocabulary words here is advantage, which means a condition that puts one in a favorable or superior position.
Exactly, Sarah. Another big advantage is the ability to access information and news in real time. Social media platforms are often the first place we hear about breaking news. But with this advantage comes a disadvantage, which means an unfavorable circumstance or condition. And one major disadvantage is the spread of misinformation.
Right, Philip. Another advantage is the sense of community that social media can create. People can join groups and connect with others who share similar interests. However, this can also lead to echo chambers, where people only hear opinions that reinforce their own. This is a significant drawback or disadvantage.
And then there's the impact on mental health. Social media can be a double-edged sword, another idiom meaning something that has both positive and negative effects. On one hand, it can provide support and a sense of belonging. On the other hand, it can lead to issues like anxiety, depression, and a fear of missing out, or FOMO.
That's a great point, Philip. Another idiom that comes to mind is a blessing and a curse, which perfectly describes social media. It can be wonderful for staying informed and connected, but it can also be overwhelming and addictive.
Speaking of addiction, spending too much time on social media can affect productivity and real-life interactions. It's easy to get lost in endless scrolling. This brings us to another key vocabulary word, impact, which means the effect or influence of one thing on another.
Yes, and the grammar point for today is comparative and superlative forms. For example, we might say, social media is more engaging than traditional media, or TikTok is the most addictive platform. These forms help us compare the pros and cons effectively.
That's a great tip, Sarah. So, to recap, we discussed the advantages of social media, such as staying connected and accessing information, and the disadvantages, including misinformation and mental health impacts. We also introduced vocabulary words like advantage, disadvantage, and impact, along with idioms like double-edged sword and a blessing and a curse. Now that we've explored the pros and cons of social media, let's move on to a very important topic, privacy and security online. With all the benefits social media offers, it's crucial to stay safe and protect our personal information.
Absolutely, Philip. One of the first things we need to be aware of is encryption. This vocabulary word refers to the process of converting information or data into a code to prevent unauthorized access. Encryption is what keeps our private messages and data secure.
Right, Sarah. But despite encryption, we often hear about data breaches, which is another key term. A data breach occurs when sensitive information is accessed without authorization, potentially leading to identity theft or other malicious activities.
That's a serious issue, Philip. To protect ourselves, we need to pay attention to our privacy settings on social media platforms. These settings allow us to control who can see our information and how it's shared. It's essential to regularly review and update these settings to stay safe.
Absolutely, Sarah. And let's not forget about phishing, a term that describes attempts to trick people into providing personal information by pretending to be a trustworthy entity. Phishing can happen through emails, messages, or even fake websites.
It's important to always be on the lookout for suspicious messages. The idiom "to be on the safe side" is relevant here, meaning to take extra precautions to avoid risk. For example, never click on links from unknown sources, and always verify the authenticity of a website before entering personal information.
That's great advice, Sarah. And another useful idiom is "better safe than sorry," which emphasizes the importance of being cautious to avoid potential problems. In the context of online security, it's always better to take preventive measures.
Yes, and for our grammar point today, we'll focus on modal verbs for giving advice and expressing obligations. For example, you should update your privacy settings regularly, and you must avoid sharing sensitive information online. These verbs help us give strong recommendations and express necessity.
Excellent point, Sarah. So, to summarize, we discussed key terms like encryption, data breach, privacy settings, and phishing. We also highlighted idioms like "to be on the safe side" and "better safe than sorry," and covered modal verbs for advice and obligations.
We hope this information helps you stay safe and secure online. It's crucial to be vigilant and proactive in protecting your personal information.
Now that we've covered privacy and security, let's talk about how social media has changed the way we communicate. It's really transformed our interactions in so many ways.
Definitely, Philip. One of the biggest changes is the rise of instant messaging. This term refers to real-time text communication between people, which has made it so easy to stay in touch with friends and family instantly, no matter where they are.
Right, and along with instant messaging, we have emoji, those little icons that express emotions and ideas. Emojis have become a universal language, adding a fun and expressive element to our digital conversations.
And then there are acronyms like LOL, OMG, and BRB. These shorthand terms save time and space, making our communication quicker and more efficient. Acronyms are now a staple in digital communication.
Another key term is virtual, meaning existing or occurring on computers or on the internet. We often hear about virtual meetings, virtual events, and virtual friendships. Social media has made virtual interactions a significant part of our daily lives.
That's so true, Philip. And let's not forget the idiom "lost in translation." This phrase means that the original meaning of something is misunderstood or lost when translated into another language or context. It often happens in text-based communication where tone and nuance can be hard to convey.
Another relevant idiom is "keeping in touch." It means maintaining communication with someone. Social media has made keeping in touch easier than ever, even with people who live far away.
For our grammar point today, let's focus on the differences between formal and informal language. For example, you might say, "Hello, how are you?" in a formal context, but "Hey, what's up?" in an informal setting. Social media often blurs these lines, so it's important to know when each is appropriate.
Great point, Sarah. And let's not forget about the impact on face-to-face communication. While social media has made it easier to connect virtually, it can sometimes make in-person interactions feel less frequent or less meaningful.
Yes, Philip. It's a double-edged sword, enhancing our ability to communicate across distances while sometimes diminishing the quality of our face-to-face interactions. This balance is something we all need to navigate carefully.
To sum up, we discussed how social media has introduced instant messaging, emojis, acronyms, and virtual interactions into our communication. We've also looked at idioms like "lost in translation" and "keeping in touch," and highlighted the importance of understanding formal and informal language.
We hope this helps you better understand the impact of social media on the way we communicate.
So Sarah, now that we've looked at how social media has changed our communication, let's turn our attention to the future. What trends in technology and social media can we expect to see?
That's an exciting topic, Philip. One of the biggest trends we're seeing is the rise of artificial intelligence or AI. AI is becoming more integrated into social media platforms, helping to personalize user experiences, filter content, and even create content like chatbots.
Absolutely, Sarah. And then there's virtual reality or VR. VR is transforming the way we interact with digital content, offering immersive experiences that make you feel like you're actually there. Imagine attending virtual events or exploring virtual worlds with friends from around the globe.
Another trend is the continued innovation in augmented reality or AR. Unlike VR, which creates a completely virtual environment, AR overlays digital information onto the real world. Think of apps that let you try on clothes virtually or games like Pokémon Go that blend the digital and physical worlds.
And we can't forget about the term innovation, which means the introduction of new ideas, methods, or products. Technology and social media are fields that thrive on innovation, constantly evolving to meet the needs and interests of users.
Another exciting term is trend, which refers to the general direction in which something is developing or changing. Keeping up with trends is crucial in the fast-paced world of technology and social media. It's all about staying ahead of the curve, meaning to stay ahead of current developments.
Speaking of which, the idiom "the next big thing" is often used to describe something that is expected to become very popular or important. In the tech world, everyone is always looking for the next big thing, whether it's a new app, a groundbreaking device, or a revolutionary service.
For our grammar point today, let's focus on using future tense and making predictions. For example, AI will continue to revolutionize social media, and we're going to see more VR and AR integrations in everyday life. These structures help us talk about what we expect to happen.
Great tips, Sarah. So, to recap, we discussed future trends like AI, VR, AR, and the importance of innovation. We also introduced vocabulary like trend and idioms like ahead of the curve and the next big thing, along with future tense for making predictions.
We hope this gives you some insight into where technology and social media are headed. It's an exciting future, and we can't wait to see what's next.
Alright, Sarah, we've covered a lot of ground today, from the evolution of technology and social media to future trends.
We sure have, Philip. We've talked about the major platforms, the pros and cons, privacy and security, the impact on communication, and what we can expect in the future. It's been a fascinating journey.
Definitely. We hope you all found this discussion insightful and helpful. Social media and technology are constantly changing, and staying informed is key.
Absolutely. And remember, whether you're a social media enthusiast or just starting to explore these platforms, it's important to use them wisely and stay aware of the potential risks.
We'd love to hear your thoughts on today's topic. What trends are you most excited about? How do you manage your privacy online? Share your comments and questions below.
And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and share it with your friends. Your support means a lot to us.
Thanks for joining us today. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll continue exploring interesting and relevant topics. Until then, stay safe and stay connected.
Bye everyone, and see you next time.
See you next time.